Made a video just a couple days ago going over the unfortunate part of the My Hero fandom, quote unquote, because again, as I said in that video, I don't think these people are fans of the show at all. Yet now here we are, we have a follow-up. It seems the situation was a little worse than I realized the first time. As I always do when I cover My Hero Academia, I like to remind people some of the prior incidents, and since I've done that recently, I'll make this one super quick, 5-10 seconds. Previously they complained about Momo being too exposed in her hero outfit, Nejire Hado being too well endowed, complaining about All For One's doctor's name, and Endeavor's redemption arc. Any number of nonsensical things, chances are people on Twitter complained about it. And now here we are. They're complaining about panels, about, well, specifically scenes in the anime not being as top tier quality as the manga panels are. And as I said before, not like there is a very terrible tragedy going on in the world right now or anything like that. So I don't know what these people are thinking. They must have such sheltered lives where they don't even know what's going on in reality and they just tunnel vision stuff and self-project. I don't know. I can't really assume, and I certainly don't know what their logic is. Let's take a look now, though. We previously covered this post by Manga Doge saying, Bones, what the four-letter word starting with F, and they're all mad. This person's all mad that, again, the anime didn't look as good as the manga, and that's likely because people aren't able to work as much right now as they were before. They're lucky to even be able, we should be thankful that we're still able to get content. That's the main point. And this tweet now has 1,400 retweets and over 11,000 likes. Pretty crazy that many people agree with this idea. Again, the only thing I can think of is that they're very sheltered. They don't understand what's going on in reality, and that's really it. Same exact thing with this person, Seb, says, I'm not watching this anymore. They ruined it. And this one, listen, the prior complaint, I could at least level with them, and I can agree that the anime didn't look as good as the manga. I'm just saying that doesn't even matter right now. We're just lucky that they're still producing content, and we need to cut them slack. And, well, first of all, it's not even that bad. And regardless, we need to cut them some slack because of everything going on right now. And yet, here's another weirdo complaining, and this tweet has over 700 retweets and over 5,500 likes. Again, I am shocked that many people agree with this. That one, I don't even get the complaint on that one. It looks the same to me for the most part. I can see slight differences, but they're so minuscule. I wouldn't have even thought to compare to the manga. That's how minuscule the differences are. I mean, most of us right now, we're worried about our families. We're worried about our friends. We're worried about people we don't even know because the economy is crashing. Hopefully it'll bounce back. Regardless, though, there's a lot of terrible stuff going on, let alone the main terrible thing going on that I can't even talk about. We're all worried about people right now and trying to make by and make do and, this sort of thing. And what are these weirdos doing? Thousands of people on Twitter just complaining about Studio Bones animation in My Hero Academia not looking as top tier as it usually looks. Here's another one from this person, Isla. What are these people, on a script or something? It's like the same exact nonsense. What happened at Studio Bones? This is so funny. You know what's not funny? Your tweet. This is pathetic. At least this one only has 50 likes, 51 likes, 7 retweets. This one's not really taken off. And you know what? It's like the same complaint as the prior one. These people just make hot takes trying to get a bunch of likes and engagement on Twitter, and when it fails, they just recycle over and over again. And as I've pointed out before, it's really funny. If you look at the accounts that do have a tweet go viral, their account doesn't go anywhere. The next day, they've barely gained any followers. Their tweets don't get the engagement. And that's why they perpetually recycle the same nonsense, because they just try and try again and hope for the best. It's really not a productive way of using your time. If you want to go somewhere and have people notice you, maybe get off Twitter and actually do something that'll benefit people instead of trying to bash people and bash companies that are actually doing a good job. Take my word for it. There are companies out there that deserve the criticism and bashing. Studio Bones ain't one of them. And listen, I'm not a self-help channel. That advice isn't perfect by any stretch of the means. I think y'all get my point, though. Now we go back to that other one. I'm not watching this anymore. They ruined it. That weirdo. I like this response from this QB person. He says, as a huge BC fan, that's the last straw. Let's switch studios. Y'all can get Perio, or Periot, however you say that, since you have the audacity to hate on Studio Bones, who has done a great job with My Hero Academia. No shade to Studio Perio. My takeaway from that tweet is that the true fans, so to speak, and I don't even like saying that because you start getting into weird things with the no true Scotsman fallacy, etc., etc. I am at a loss for words, though, to describe the people that act like they're fans of My Hero Academia and spend every waking moment bashing it and the people behind the scenes working on it. Anyways, here's the point on this one. You know it's bad when, again, I don't like saying it, the true fans are willing to have the studio shifted or have the whole show canceled despite loving it just because they're so sick of these weirdos. And maybe that's on us a little bit for letting them get to us. However, I don't know, man. It's just a mess, and it's unfortunate. We've seen that a lot of people are liking and retweeting these terrible takes. Here's one who actually takes it a little further and writes a hot take trying to defend the people bashing Studio Bones. So they say, not at people getting mad at this tweet. Literally every anime fandom compares manga and anime aesthetics, except that's not true. They don't. You are just pulling that out of your you-know-what. You just made that up. Not every fandom does that. And again, the point right now isn't comparing it, it's the time. There is stuff going on in the world, terrible things going on right now, and you should be thankful that you are home, safe, and hopefully healthy, being able to watch My Hero Academia because it's still being produced. You should be thankful that they are still producing My Hero Academia in the times that we're in right now. And that industry is already one where the people aren't treated that well. I mean, the wages aren't great. You have long hours, lots of overtime, and especially now it's even worse, I imagine. And yet you have these entitled garbage people on Twitter defending it. And if it wasn't bad enough, let's scroll down. Take a look at this. This scumbag says, I hate dude bros so much. Why are they so mad? Studio Bones isn't going to give you a high five for defending their name. Calm down. So the only people defending Studio Bones are dude bros? You see this on Twitter and Tumblr a lot from miserable people who hate themselves. They use this word dude bros to describe others that they disagree with. And here's the thing. If the people defending My Hero Academia and Studio Bones and Horikoshi are, dude bros, well, that's not even an insult. Those are the reasonable people right now in this situation. So you're trying to make it an insult. It's not. You're the embarrassing one. We're the ones defending the hardworking people out there doing their job. Of course, there's a whole other take here too, and that is the fact that people defending Studio Bones, etc., are not all guys. There's plenty of women that are also defending them. I know that the people on Twitter live in their own little reality and they like to ignore what the true reality actually is. They're just wrong here, though. I'll show you two examples where I spoke with women who are defending Studio Bones, and obviously there's countless other examples that I wasn't involved in. So I'm just using these because I know where they are. They're in my Twitter timeline already. It's easy to find. So again, we're going back to this tweet from Manga Doge, who says, Bones, what the you-know-what, compares the anime and manga panels. And Anime Girl says, animators in Japan are paid so poorly that they barely have enough money to survive and be happy. And a lot of them are overworked to the point that they're sick. I did research. 2, it's a still frame. Taking a small single frame from a scene and purposely making people take it out of context is pathetic. All animation has its issues. Even Western animation. There's no such thing as perfect animation. You make a TV show and animate it, and everything within a due date without any flaws. 3, you're overreacting. People that take issue with literally the smallest and dumbest things ever are annoying and are terrible fans. Sure, constructive criticism is good. However, blasting a studio for making a literal nothing error is really sad. At Hero Hey, what do you think? And the context for this next one, I posted my prior video over on Twitter, and Andrist said this to say, hopefully I pronounced her name right. As someone who has grown up writing and has a love for the art, it honestly infuriates me that people went after the author to the point that he changed the name of a character, despite the fact that writers usually name characters after real, historical people to foreshadow their personality/future actions. He did so to show the Doctor wasn't a good person, and anybody who has taken a middle school English class should know that. It's a common dissection of a plot and narrative regarding, of course, All for One's Doctor. My response, well said. Yeah, I don't think they actually cared about the issue in quotes, because again, wasn't really an issue at all, at least for the most part. And that's in regards to them not caring. It was an opportunity for them to witch hunt Horikoshi, who they have gone after before, while hiding behind a moral shield. They are bullies, and some of the worst kind at that. We saw the same thing in the Vic situation, where plenty of women would stand up for Vic to the point that they even made a group, Women for Vic, and yet Kick Vic denies that and says it's only men that defend Vic. These people on Twitter, man, as we've said time and time again, they live in some alternate reality. They can't accept what reality really is. And instead of putting in the work to make a positive change, they just dwell in negativity in this Twitter cesspool and try to drag everyone down with them. It's disgusting. And that's the thing. Not only are they too lazy to put in the work to make a positive change, they don't even want a positive change. They want to drag everyone into negativity. The only place that they probably want a positive change is internally with themselves. However, too lazy to do that, so they don't. Never thought I would be done with middle school all these years later and actually having a smidgen of respect for the numerous people who bullied me in middle school, because at least those people knew that they were bullies and they embraced it. These scumbags on Twitter, these bullies on social media, they act like they're the good guys. They try to stand on moral high ground as they go after other people, and that makes it a million times worse in my opinion. It makes it just absolutely hypocritical. So they hate on Studio Bones for the tiniest non-airs they possibly can. And when do they praise Studio Bones? When Studio Bones has a scene with Bakugo and Kirishima. No surprise, again, these people are acting on a freaking script, man. Look at this. Says Boku no Hero Academia spoilers. Nobody says anything. Literally nobody says anything. Studio Bones, Kiri, Baku, Crumbs. And this tweet has over 1,000 likes. No surprise. So that's what gets likes. Either you bash Studio Bones or you praise Bakugo and Kirishima, wanting them to be shipped together. This is the state of the My Hero Academia quote-unquote fandom on Twitter. Here's another example. Studio Bones really said, you know what would make this scene better? Kiri Baku. And they compare the manga to the anime here. How come their argument doesn't work in reverse, by the way? You know, the anime looks better than the manga in this one, in my opinion. Why aren't they praising the anime animation? They'll certainly bash it when it doesn't look proper in their mind. And this tweet, almost 1,000 likes as well, of course. All they care about is Kirishima and Bakugo, and some of them also care about Deku and Bakugo. They just want to force these characters to get in some sort of ship. That's all they care about. Bunch of losers. I'll show you another example. Here's one. Studio Bones just paid us back for years of ugly Bakugo merch and frames. Post these pictures, screenshots of the anime, and would you look at that, 1,500 retweets, 5,500 likes. Yeah, we're not done yet. I'm still driving this point home. It's too easy. Here's another one. Studio Bones has two moods, being soft for Kacchan, being thirsty for Kacchan. And let's take a look. 2,800 likes, 602 retweets. Still not done. Here's another one. I can't believe Studio Bones offered us an exclusive look at what Kirishima's world looks like. Oh my gosh, how cringy is that? 895 retweets, 3,500 likes. And then moving away from the Kirishima Bakugo obsessive weirdos, we have people like Ian who will write entire essays on Twitter complaining about clouds in My Hero Academia. Like, this is just so strange. And no, I did not read this. I'm not going to read the whole thing now. I don't have the time to read this essay on why My Hero Academia animation isn't good. Like, this is just such a waste of time. I'm going to include it in the video to make a point. I mean, if you want to read this, by all means, go ahead. It's just baffling to me that people are complaining about such nothing. I mean, like this person says right here, there's a whole anime going on and people are worried about clouds. I mean, it's I don't even know what to say anymore. It's just the weirdest stuff, man. What's wrong with this quote-unquote fandom? Thank you for your time listening. If you made it to the very end of this video, I hope you found it entertaining. It was probably also somewhat painful for you. It was for me making this. The first one was painful. In that video, I even said, I wish I didn't have to make this video right now. And here we are having to make a second one. You know, yesterday I talked about waifu soap. That was a nice topic. That was a nice little deviation from this nonsense. However, I mean, I like standing up for Studio Bones, and I know all of you do as well. So we're doing what we can to help. It just sucks that this is even a situation. So I'd like to give a big thanks to all of you for tuning in, and I want to give a shout out to the kind people who promoted yesterday's video. If you like this one, please consider promoting this one as well. Shout out to Intimidator0108, Striker Red, Shogun, Baku Girl, Alex, DXDKJ, Amipath Studio Productions, Shep76, Lancaster K, Deshaun Miller, Sir Wolf, Mr. Anime 343, North B, Coden X, and On the Brain. Finally, if you want to take it a little further, consider subscribing, hitting the notification bell, and or becoming a patron on Patreon, link in the description, or a channel member via the join button, and new emotes are on the way, so good time for that, and I'll see you in the next one.